I'm a therapist, so I've got lots of books in my office. And I'd like to talk to you today probably about more of a personal philosophy, really, based on certain books. I don't like fairy tales. I don't like them because when we bring a young person into the world, before they can talk, before they can read, we often read them stories. And traditionally we read them fairy tales. And I think that creates unrealistic expectations. The princess hopes to meet their knight in shining armour, comes along on his horse, scoops her up, takes her up to the castle up on the hill, and they live happily ever after. Disneyland style. That's not realistic. And we're sending these early messages to the very young people that are very impressionable that we're bringing into the world. I think the princess, often, she feels entitled to meet a man who will scoop her up on his horse and give her a beautiful house and live happily ever after. And the poor man, well, it's really tough for him because he feels that he has to deliver this scooping up on the horse and living in the castle happily ever after. And that's really unfair on him. So these create really entitlements and unfair expectations and insecurities. I'm not so sure that's really good. I much prefer Aesop's Fables. Now, of course, you can read Aesop's Fables anywhere. This is a book that I have. Aesop's Fables here. This one, it's by Margaret Clark, illustrated by Charlotte Voke, and it's absolutely beautiful. The pictures are gorgeous. You have to buy it. I've got to be careful with copyright, but buy it and have a look through. It's absolutely lovely. But you can get Aesop's Fables anywhere. One of the stories in here, one of the fables, is a story about the wind and the sun. And they're having an argument one day as to who is the strongest, who is the most powerful. And of course the wind says, well, of course I am, because I'm the wind. And the sun says, well, no, I don't think so. I'm the sun. So they decide to have a competition. And they decide they're going to wait until they see a traveller walking along the road. And then they're going to see who can get the traveller to take his cloak off. And whoever gets the traveller to take his cloak off, then they win. So they see the traveller coming along the road, and the north wind blows and blows and gusts and tries its absolute hardest to get the traveller to take his cloak off, but the traveller just wraps it harder and harder round him and holds it, really clutches it tight. Then it's the sun's turn. And of course the sun is very gentle and warm and patient. And it just warms the traveller until eventually the traveller just naturally takes off his cloak and goes on his way. Now that's going to mean different things to different people. I'm not going to sit here and tell you what it means, because the lovely thing about Aesop's Fables is that they mean different things to different people. You can provoke some lovely conversation. So, fairy tales? Not really. Aesop's Fables? Much nicer, much more realistic, and relevant to each and every person in their own way. That's got to be really important, hasn't it? So this is my favourite book. But you can find yours. Just give it a go.